Hello again. This is Wesley Weaver with the Penumbra Group, Penumbra PC, and Penumbra Productions, and Penumbra. If you haven't noticed, that's my brand. One of the questions that's come up in the whole Wi-Fi and versus internet and the meaning of Wi-Fi is, what the hell is XFINITY Wi-Fi? Well, it's Wi-Fi from Comcast XFINITY, but it is a service that allows you to connect to any XFINITY hotspot. A lot of people who already have XFINITY premium services can connect to any of these hotspots. Pretty much any customer who already has XFINITY or Comcast, whether it's business or residential, has an XFINITY Wi-Fi hotspot being broadcast from their gateway. If you go to McDonald's and they have Comcast, they're going to have XFINITY Wi-Fi. If you go to your friend's house who has Comcast, they're going to have XFINITY Wi-Fi. So these are all over the place. And there's an app so you can look up and be like, hey, where's the nearest hotspot? So this is really good for people who don't want to use up all of their data in their phones, or if they know that there's a bunch of places that they're going to frequent that use Comcast and have these hotspots and all that kind of stuff, and they already have, a package for their house and their TV and their internet that is premium. The difference between that and, for instance, data over the air or mobile data is one is through cell towers and one is through modems. It's a Wi-Fi hotspot versus a mobile data hotspot. And they're two very different things. Through Verizon, AT&T, and all that kind of stuff, they offer hotspots that broadcast a Wi-Fi signal for you to connect your computer to. And that is a completely different system. It's all over, 3G, 4G, cell phone towers, and all that kind of stuff. And, cellular technology. That is the mobile data hotspot side of things. And then there's the local hotspot. I think it was probably just like a branding thing, but it got really confusing for a bunch of people. One, because most of the people who have access to this XFINITY Wi-Fi hotspot system don't know that they have access to it. So sometimes they'll connect to it by accident and it just asks them for their, login and password for their Comcast, and they don't know exactly why they're entering it, but it pops up and they have Wi-Fi there and they're like, okay, sure. And then there's the people who will have, Comcast and they don't know how to turn this off. So those are usually the two different groups of people that are asking about it, are the people who are like, what is this? I connected to this and it said that it's a paid service, but I didn't pay anything, so I don't understand. And then the people who have this coming out of their modem at home, and they're like, why is there some sort of commercial hotspot being broadcast from my modem? How do I turn it off? Well, you can't turn it off. So at least you can't turn it off on any of the modems or gateways that you rent from Comcast. You can go get your own modem and you can go through all the craziness of having Comcast, get your MAC address off the modem and all that kind of stuff and assign your IP address and do all that nonsense. That is a solution, but all of their, normal gateways that, the tech comes out and is like, okay, here's your gateway and you're usually paying rent on it and all that kind of stuff. So they're kind of making you use it if you use their equipment. On the plus side, it doesn't impact your speeds, or at least that's what they say. When you have internet over coax, like normal, cable comes into your house cable, it's pretty unlikely that there's going to be a conflict there. Most of the time they say that coax is rated for 250 megs. If you were actually actively using the 250 megs and somebody else was using some portion of that bandwidth, there's the possibility that they would conflict with each other. But most of the time, if people are going to go into the 250 megs range off of a single coax line, they're also looking at alternatives like fiber, which has a crap ton more bandwidth. That's it. I guess the last thing to really say is, if you find yourself in a situation where you see this Comcast, XFINITY Wi-Fi hotspot, you don't have Comcast or whatever, you can actually use that. They have different price breakdowns for the amount of time that you're using it, data usage and all that kind of stuff. So it's measured kind of the same way that cellular, mobile data hotspots are measured, but, it's in their own little world. So you can pay for it like a pay-as-you-go sort of thing. Whether or not you have Comcast, you can set up the account to do that. Or it's something that you already have have as part of your Xfinity service if you're a premium customer, because they have all those different packages. I hope that answers your questions about the Xfinity Wi-Fi and where it comes from, what it is, why it's on your modem, how to use it, and all that kind of stuff. So till next time.